Parsha? Okay. Shalom to everyone on YouTube. Okay. We're starting with the Tziyon, the Torah in Eretz Yisrael. We're going to get to your story in the end. Don't worry. Ve'er HaRambam, right? In Ost Bet. It's the Tziyon, the Sefer from Moshe Tzur. We learn it every week to get a little Charif Musar about Eretz Yisrael and why Eretz Yisrael is rocks. Ve'er HaRambam Ha'ara Nifla. The Rambam says something amazing. Sha'achrei bo b'nei Yisrael Eretz Yisrael. After Am Yisrael comes to Eretz Yisrael, Ada Misrael. We know that up until Am Yisrael comes into Eretz Yisrael, we can koveya the chodashim, we can set the months, we can define when the months begin outside of Eretz Yisrael. But once we come into Eretz Yisrael, once we define that Am Yisrael is in Eretz Yisrael, we can no longer set the months to be. We can no longer set the months outside of Eretz Yisrael. That's why nowadays we base on a calendar, but there's no concept of Kiddush Chodesh. The basin, there's no concept of a witness going to the basin and saying, "Oh, we saw the new moon." Right? This basic information. And this is his lashon. If Chas Shalom Am Yisrael were to leave Eretz Yisrael, Chalila le'el ma'asot zot, Chas Shalom that this should ever happen, ki hu hivtiach shelo yimcha otzo so ha'uma mikol v'kol. HaKadosh Baruch Hu promises this would never happen. V'lo yeh Shem Basin. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there's not going to be a basin over there. V'lo yeh b'chul basin shenismach be'eretz. And there's not going to be a concept of a basin in Chutz La'aretz that has smicha from Eretz Yisrael. This doesn't exist, that you can have a basin that's like a shaliach of Eretz Yisrael. This doesn't exist. Hini cheshbonenu ze lo yayinu klum b'shum panim. If we were to calculate the months like we do nowadays, all these different things, that doesn't account to the mitzvah. The mitzvah of HaChodesh Zelachem, it doesn't apply anymore. We can't do it because there's no basin in Eretz Yisrael. Chas v'chal, that's what the Rambam is saying. Chas v'chal, this should never have happened. But that's the reality. The reality nowadays is the mitzvah of HaChodesh Zelachem, the tantamount mitzvah, the paramount mitzvah that we're getting to this week of HaChodesh Zelachem, we can't even do it. Because our cheshbon doesn't count for anything. Our calculations that we do don't count for anything. Baruch Hashem, we have a cheshbon that we can know when Pesach is supposed to fall out. But in terms of mitzvah, it seems like it doesn't even count. Okay, good. Now the Tziyon of Moshe Tzur says something amazing. What's so amazing about this? What does it mean that if there's no sign of Am Yisrael in Eretz Yisrael? What does that mean? That there's no sign of Am Yisrael in Eretz Yisrael, that doesn't count. Zot omeret. Listen to this line. Gam im bechul yesh kiilot shel meot alafim. Even if in Chutz La'aretz there's communities of hundreds of thousands of people, einam b'chashivut mul asara b'Eretz Yisrael. They aren't as close to the importance as 10 Jews living in Eretz Yisrael. Imagine 6,000 million Jews. That's a billion. Right, 1 billion Jews living in Galus. That means, let's say the entire Galus right now, the entire population of Galus, of Goyim, was actually Jewish people, and there were 10 Jews living in Eretz Yisrael. Those 10 Jews would be more important to HaKadosh Baruch Hu than the 6 billion other Jews in Galus. It's a wild thing. The Kachiru Chazal, they mirror the same thing. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu biyotah chavivin hin alei ziknei chachamei gola. The Rambam. A small group of Jews living in Eretz Yisrael is more important than an entire Sanhedrin of Tzaddikim and Talmidei Chachamim living in Galus. It's brought down in the Pirkei Eliezer. Amru afilu Tzaddikim v'Chacham b'Chutz La'aretz, even Tzaddikim and Chacham that live in Chutz La'aretz, v'roet sonu v'kar ba'aretz, but a shepherd and a cowherder in Eretz Yisrael, ein ma'avir et hashana ela yidei roet sonu v'kar. You can only make an Ibra Shana, a leap year with an extra month. That can only happen with the Ratzon. Because the Talmid Chacham and the Tzaddik and Galus has no effect on anything. But the Ratzon living in Eretz Yisrael, the shepherd living in Eretz Yisrael, the simple, unintelligent person living in Eretz Yisrael has much more an effect on the world. And all the other upworlds is living in Eretz Yisrael. Yeah.
I thought Jews were not, I thought Jews were not dependent because we're given the Torah outside of Eretz Yisrael that we were still a nation.
No.
Not necessarily dependent.
No. There are certain Torahs, there are certain mitzvahs and Torahs that aren't 100% dependent on Eretz Yisrael. But you look at the Ramban and the Rambam, depending on which one you hold, the Eretz Yisrael still is 100% part and parcel of every single mitzvah. And there's certain Chizzuk that say that doing mitzvahs in Galus is like practice. It doesn't even count as a real mitzvah. That's a shita in and of itself. I'm not going to discuss these different shitas of what what is what. Right. So again, there's many different shitas of what counts for what, but very, very clearly, the mitzvahs in Eretz Yisrael count for a heck of a lot more. about this. A shepherd. Shepherds are nachshav, they're considered to be the dumbest, lowest class people in all of society. A small, let's say 4 of those people living in Eretz Yisrael are more important to Kadosh Baruch Hu than all the chacham and tzaddikim and galus. Leave it at that. I don't want to go longer with this. Just think about it. Enough said. There's nothing else to add to that. Okay. We're going to be learning a piece. I don't have these things labeled this week, unfortunately. The first piece on the left. Umoshe v'Aaron asu es kol moftim ha'ela. This is a piece from Yonah Elimelech, Rabbi Elimelech Midazhansk, one of the most important leaders in Chassidus, in the early rebbes of Chassidus. He spread spread Chassidus to Poland, which we can only begin to imagine what that meant. I mean, what that means to spread Chassidus and what that means to spread it to all of Poland. Just spreading one word of Chassidus in of itself is already bringing so much light to the world. So imagine spreading it to the entire world of Jewry of Poland. Okay, so this is learning from this tzaddik. Moshe v'Aaron also was called moftim ha'ela lifnei Paro v'yichazek Hashem es Paro. Moshe and Aaron did all these wonders in front of Paro, and it hardened the heart of Paro. V'yichazek Hashem es Paro, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu hardened the heart of Paro. V'yesh l'daktik ma ba hakasul lashminu. That's a very simple question. What's this coming to tell us? What's so specific about this pasuk? El yesh l'farish zeh koyal pasuk shlacharav. The whole reason that we're saying that Moshe and Aaron came and did all these wonders in front of Paro, the only reason we're saying this now is to explain what happens next. That because of Moshe and Aaron doing the miracles in front of him, as a result of that, Paro's heart was hardened by Hashem. What does that mean? The tzaddikim came in front of him. Moshe and Aaron come. Imagine the scene. You're a Paro. Chas shalom. Should never happen. You're a dude. Imagine this. You're a dude. But you're a dude sitting in your house. Knocks on the door. 2 guys come in. They say, "We're about to do wonders. Now I'm going to do these wonders in order to prove to you that there's a nation called the Jewish people and they have to serve Hashem." So you're sitting in your house, because chas shalom, we should never compare ourselves to Paro. But you're sitting in your house, and these 2 dudes whip out their staffs and they start doing things, and your house begins to float and Eser Makos, anything you can imagine. Right, so naturally, most people, what do? Oh, okay, you're right. You just did crazy things, so I'm going to listen to you. What does Paro do? Because he's the giant Russia. He's mechazik his own heart. From the Psukim in the earlier parts, Paro decided not to look at it. He said, "Oh, this isn't from Hashem. These are moftim. These are magicians. None of this is real nisim niflot from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is just magicians." That's what he was trying to do the whole beginning. He was just saying, "Oh, you're doing this. Look at my magicians. You do this, my magicians." And even once the magicians gave up, he still was telling himself, "No, this is not Hashem. This is not Hashem." So, continuing inside, when the tzaddik does miracles and wonderments, as I show ruach hakodesh v'kedusha. When a tzaddik comes, Elimelech's whole purpose is try to come and teach people what it means to have a tzaddik in front of you, what it means to have a rebbe, what it means to have a person who you can look up to, and from that person you can begin to understand where you need to be going in your avodas Hashem. That's just a prerequisite to understanding what Elimelech is trying to do. So the tzaddik is in front of you doing these wonder things. He's doing these amazing things. So you know that the Ruach HaKodesh is on the tzaddik. The Kedusha v'Kol Yicholim Lahavin Shem Hashem Haytazos. You see a tzaddik doing his thing. You see your Rebbe, you see different tzaddikim in the world doing their avodah, and it's very clear that this person has a certain holy spiritual Ruach HaKodesh within the person. It's flowing through the person. A Ruach HaKodesh isn't, it's not like a trance of like a seizure. Ruach HaKodesh, I once heard a tzaddik once say that Ruach Rav Freuer, the person who wrote the Letter of the Ages, the translation of the Ramban's letter. So he said, Ruach HaKodesh is just when a person is able to see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu exists in the physical world. When I realize that halacha defines what the physical world actually is, that's Ruach HaKodesh. So when I see tzaddikim in a davening, when I see someone giving me a shmooze, when I'm speaking to someone and I see that they're seeing past my whole essence and just seeing my neshama, they're looking into my eyes and I begin to melt away and all I feel is my neshama pulsing because that's all I'm feeling. So you look into that person's eyes, you look back into that person and you realize that person is kol kulo, his whole essence is Ruach HaKodesh. Right? And we're able to see that. It's normal. It's not unnatural. It's not unheard of. That's what's supposed to happen when you see a tzaddik. The Paro harasha lo ratza l'shum al libozot. The Paro didn't want to see this. They came and did all the different miracles in front of Paro. Meaning to say, every other person in the world, all the Egyptians, all the Jews were realizing, oh my gosh, these are shlichim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They're messengers, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu sending these people And very clearly, we should send them out. That's why there's a civil war going on. They're telling Paro, what the heck are you doing? Stop it. Let them go. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was saying something. They realized it. But Paro, his heart was hard. He said, no, I'm not going to believe. These are just magicians. There's no such thing as Hashem. He doesn't know who Hashem is. He says, no. I skipped. רק לפני פרעה רוצה לומר בעיניו היה שמשה ואהרון עשו זאת מעצמם ולא רק לשום על ליבו שמהשם הוא זאת ולקח נענה שחיזק השם את ליבו. Paro, the whole meter of Paro is Lashon Oref, the back of the neck. Right, when I don't want to talk to someone, I turn my neck around and I look at someone from the back. Right, Oref, the Paro, he's a chutzpah. Paro's a big fat chutzpah. That's what he is. His whole essence is a big fat chutzpah. Right, I'm the God. Right, even though he knows he's going to the water to go to the bathroom. Right, I'm the God. I'm the one who rules everything. It's one big lie. So he's a giant chutzpah. That's his whole essence. Is Oref, is the back of the neck. And so, when Moshe and Aaron come into these giant miracles, it's natural, it's normal. You see miracles and you're supposed to get excited. You're supposed to see the world happening. You see the flowers growing and you see rainfall. You see Eretz Yisrael get 200% of its yearly rainfall in 3 days. That should make you think, oh my gosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu exists in the world. It's natural, it's what's supposed to be happening. Paro, though, the chutzpah that he had, the Oref, the whole meter of Paro is to deny that. And to say that, no, these people aren't doing anything special. They're magicians. There's no shiach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Right, so what the Noam is telling us, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is constantly sending us messengers. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is constantly sending us ways to connect. He's sending us signs. Right, the classic story, guys, in the river, God sends someone to save me, a boat comes and says, oh, I'm here to save you. He says, no, I'm waiting for God to send someone to save me. Right, and it goes on and on and on and on, right? Classic joke. But that joke's serious. We go through our lives every single week, every single day, every single minute, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sending us things saying, get out of tuchus and be an Eved Hashem. Go do something with your life. Go, and I'm not talking about going and becoming a makubal. I'm just talking about go put on your tzitzis. Go wash netilas now and wake up. Go say Moda Ani with half a piece of kavanah. Daven shachris and think about what you're putting your tefillin on for a second. Say, oh, not even the Kabbalistic incantations of what you're supposed to think. Oh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave me this mitzvah to do. What a beautiful thing. And if we were able to realize it, so that's the need of Am Yisrael coming out of Mitzrayim. That's how we get a geula. That's how we get redeemed. We get redeemed when we realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sending us things. But what's the meat of Mitzrayim, of Paro? The meat of Paro Mitzrayim is saying, that's what you're talking about. I'm putting on tefillin because my rabbi said to, and that's shachris. Right? But if you realize that when the flowers grow and the rain falls and your Rebbe's talking to you, and this night your friend comes and at the specific moment says, oh, how are you? And you're doing in the darkest place. So your friend right now is a tzaddik to you. Like Rav Mana said, Mashiach doesn't necessarily mean the ultimate redeemer. Mashiach means someone who right now is giving me my own private personal redemption. So it could be my friend right now is my own Mashiach, and he's the tzaddik who's taking me out of my own exile. Right, so there's very, very important things to be focusing on. That the geula can come from every and not a kali, not the grandiose base of Mikdash being built geula. I'm talking about a personal geula of me coming out and becoming part of turning myself into a proper Eved Hashem. We have to be focusing on these things always. Check the time. Great. This is not going to be short. Peace from the HaRim. The HaRim, the Ger Rebbe. He says like this is a beautiful thing, and this is if you don't understand this piece, if you don't understand how this affects your life, then you have no purpose in anything because this is so cool. This is natural. This is like if I don't believe that I have blood, that I can still live. No, you have blood and you live. But if you don't believe you have blood, you might as well be dead because you're not going to understand it. That doesn't make any sense, but just listen. Okay. This is a mitzvah saying every single Jew you have to renew yourself every single day. Every single day. There's an aura of light coming down from Shemayim. Every single day you have to renew yourself. Benigud to this, comparing this, contrasting this, there's a concept of day. Oh, jumping ahead of myself. I'm too excited. Ulekach, not excited enough, you should say. Ulekach, and therefore, yesh tamez ischashus. There's always a level of ischashus in the world. To you, as long as you are you, there's chiddush. There's ischashus, there's renewal in your life. Ki ein kol chadash tachas hashemesh. The natural way of the world is there's no such thing as chiddush. We know what's going to happen in the world. Sun rises in the west, in the east, and sets in the west. Shah, I dropped out of high school. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Flowers grow and flowers die. Water comes from the sky as raindrops, and water comes out of the ground as springs. Right? These are things. It's not new. This is part of the world. Fish are fish. Lions are lions. Lions are not fish. Fish are not lions. If that was the case, that's called chiddush. I did not learn that in high school. I learned that from Discovery Channel. A lionfish is something else. However, that's if you have a fish that was actually a lion, not a lionfish, a fish that was a lion, so that's called a chiddush. But we know there's a concept in Chazal, Ein Chadash Tachas Hashem. There's no new things in the world. There's nothing new. So, you're saying, you have to be Chadash, Chadash. You have to renew yourself. So what the heck are you saying, Kadosh Baruch Hu? That's supposed to go beyond nature? Yes! Aval Bnei Yisrael hadvukim l'mal me'ateva. Bnei Yisrael who have chelek elokami ma'u have a neshama. It's beyond nature. I put my tefillin on, I wrap it 7 times. I say my physical body is beyond that which the world knows. It's infinite, not my body, my neshama. And I'm davuk, I'm kol kulo connected to it. So what does he say? B'makom nisim v'niflos. My whole life is nisim v'niflos. Why? Yerushalayim is so full of Hashgacha Pratis. Why? Because you're connecting closer to the source, and therefore there's more nisim niflot. It doesn't make sense that I bump into so many random acquaintances who know Jewish geography happening so much in Eretz Yisrael. Why? Because I'm getting closer to the source of the Ein Sof. And the more I'm closer to the eternal, never-ending light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the more I begin to get connected to eternal infinityness. It's not a word, but I like it.
It works.
And therefore, yesh lahem yischadshus tamid. Therefore, the midah of a Jew. Definition of Jew, hischadshus. Jew, hischadshus. Jew, hischadshus. Get that into your stupid little heads. And stupid little heads, I'm talking about me. Hischadshus is renewal. Chashav, no one here is stupid. Everyone is tzaddik. V'amech kulam tzaddikim. Yesh lahem yischadshus tamid. The midah of a Jew is you're constantly renewing yourself. And this is Rabbi Nachman. Anyone who knows Rabbi Nachman, hischadshus is the yikr. Ve'ein nisyashin etzlam. There's no such thing as getting old and bored. What does that mean? Don't send me to an old age. I shouldn't get old? No. No. What does it mean? Don't make me feel like I'm old in my avodas Hashem. It's a new kavanah when you're saying this on Yom Kippur and during Slichos, during different times. Don't send me a Kadosh Baruch Hu to a place where my avodas Hashem is old and boring and crippled. There's no such thing as old. All the lights and the shefa from HaKadosh Baruch Hu is coming down. And then we're able to say Shema Yisrael. We say to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm being made on your achdus. Mitzavcha hayom alavavcha shiyu kechadashim ki'ilu hayom nitzava. Mitzavcha hayom. What does it mean hayom? Today. Not today in the desert. Today, right now. I come in the morning with my tefillin on and I say Shema Yisrael Shem Echad. Kadosh Baruch Hu, you are one. Echad. Period. Done. Right? The ultimate testimony. I testify. Right? And then Baruch Shem Baruch Hu, you whisper to yourself. Then you say V'havta Shem Echad b'chol avavcha. I love you, Kadosh Baruch Hu, with all my heart. B'chol nafshcha, with all my soul, b'chol modecha, and everything else. Whatever parish you want to understand is modecha. Confusing word. Mitzavcha hayom. I just skipped a bunch of sentences because I lost my train of thought. Mitzavcha hayom. Today, every single day, there's renewal. If you don't believe that there's a renewal in your life and the ability to renew yourself, then you're not even a Jew. Because if you can't renew yourself, then your avodah Hashem gets old and boring, and then you're like some weirdo in high school who's just like, yo, I'm Jewish too. That's ridiculous. You should be jumping out of your pants. You're so excited you're avodah Hashem. Mama's jumping for joy. I'm so excited. And every single day. We say this by the Birchas of Kriyashma. Every single day, HaKadosh Baruch Hu recreates the world brand new. Brand new. That means that every single day I wake up, that means any reality that I have, even though it seems like it's similar to yesterday, yesterday doesn't exist. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created a new world. That means it's just a history book. It has nothing to do with my current life. So when I come to Tefillah today, when I come to Daven tomorrow morning, let's say, Chas v'shalom, I don't have my chocolate rabbit that I want to eat. I like chocolate rabbits. They taste good. Because I like chocolate. I like rabbits. And I saw a picture of a chocolate rabbit recently, so I'm saying it. So right now I don't have a chocolate rabbit tonight. So I'm going to go daven. I daven Mark. But let's say I'm going to go say to him later. So I'm going to daven Kadosh Baruch Hu, please give me a chocolate rabbit. I'm not going to get a chocolate rabbit because I have zero purpose to have a chocolate rabbit. But tomorrow morning I'm going to come to Shachris. What could I say? I could either say, I davened for a chocolate rabbit yesterday, so why the heck should I daven for one today? But Avi Cohen, why would you say that? That's stupid. Because today's a brand new day. And therefore anything that happened yesterday doesn't exist anymore. That means I have to daven brand new with all my kochos. And if I don't do that, then I'm missing out on my opportunities to daven. So that's what the Chiddushei is telling us.
It's the night, then that's considered the day, so you don't need it.
When you go to sleep, maybe, I don't know. It could be you completely threw out everything, and my example. But you're still right. Shubo! Ein yashan tachas hashemesh. There's no old things under the shemesh, except for Am Yisrael. We renew ourselves every single day. Yes, he's chadshus.
No. He didn't, sorry, no trap, but you didn't screw it up because when Hashem turns our soul, we renew.
Nothing's screwed up. Nothing's messed up. You just messed up. You're a flaming idiot. Okay, quick story to end off. Oh, tate. Time. Okay, Eli Tesla has a rock from Eretz Yisrael. He wants to know if he can take it out of Eretz Yisrael. Heck no! Famous story. I forgot which rabbi it was.
Don't you return it?
Oh, gosh! Listen to the story. Dearest. Shh.
It's your.
It's okay. There's dearest boys that watch. Run! Okay, here's the story. Famous rabbi, I forgot his name. I forgot who it happened to. Ministam, it happened to the greatest.
Really famous though.
But really, the story itself is famous. I forgot which rabbi it happened to. This rabbi was in Eretz Yisrael. He was on a visit. As he's leaving Eretz Yisrael, he said to himself, like every Machach person says, "Oh, I'm going to take a rock with me so I can have Eretz Yisrael wherever I go." So Rabbi Nachman says, "L'kom makom shenilech ani yolech le'Eretz Yisrael." Right, and it's a good thing. Rabbi Nachman says it. L'kom makom shenilech le'Eretz Yisrael. Everywhere you're going, you should be going to a place that's getting close to Eretz Yisrael. But what does Rav do? This rabbi takes a rock. He says, "I'm going to take this rock with me. Evan, Sur Yisrael go alo. Take a rock with me wherever I go. I'm going to feel Eretz Yisrael." He's on the train, and he gets into this meditative process, and he begins to think for a second. Okay, I'm a rebbe. I've got a kehillah. I've got people. I've got to go back to Golos. I have whatever reasons that I have a halachic heter to leave Eretz Yisrael. Because God forbid you should ever leave Eretz Yisrael without any reason that doesn't have halachic backgrounds to it. Going back to Eretz Yisrael, Muslim. The Rebbe says, what did this rock do to deserve to leave Eretz Yisrael? What did this rock do that I have the right to take it out of living in Eretz Yisrael? Because the rock is here. It's a rock of Eretz Yisrael, so why do I have the right to take it away? And he took the rock and threw it out the window. So whether or not you're going to make your own reason, maybe that rock's shlichus, maybe it's the whole purpose of that rock is to be with you, to make you mechazik yourself, to make you strong.
Maybe to remember Israel so you can come back.
Right, there's a lot of different reasons. I'm just saying, it's a beautiful mindset.
Like you're walking on the street and you're see a leaf on the floor and like, leaf, why do you fall on the floor? And like, oh, ask the wind. And why do you fall on the floor? And like, ask the branch. And it's all because the worm on the ground, Hashem wanted the worm asked Hashem to cover the shade. So the tree fell. Everything.
Wow. Everything has a place. Everything has a place. Yeah.
The rock, I mean, I understand it's very nice. But like, you say that about anything. Like, obviously, if everything is like, something was made here, then it has a purpose of being here. Like, let's say I bought a knapsack here. Can I take that knapsack and go home with it?
Okay, this isn't halachic. It's not halachic.
I'm just wondering, like.
Can you take it? Yeah.
Like, but you would think
This is like a rock.
Again, every single person you have to.
But the rock is here because it has a purpose here.
Mushroom.
So anything that was made here has a purpose of being in Israel.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So. That's all I'm saying.
But sometimes the same way that a Jew has a way, sometimes needs to leave Eretz Yisrael. Unfortunately, Chas Shalom. So to the rock. Okay. Quick sikum. Quick summary about what just happened.
Yeah, let's recap.
A dirty, gross shepherd in Eretz Yisrael is more important than all the Jews in Golos. You guys stink. Moshe Aaron, you guys are tzaddikim. You guys are beautiful. You're like diamonds, but dirty, gross diamonds. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk. No, Elimelech says, don't be a jerk and ignore HaKadosh Baruch Hu's sign. Don't be a jerk like Pharaoh. Don't be a chutzpah. Don't be a big fat idiot and say HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not my life. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in front of me every single second. Every single thing that I see and every single thing that I do is a sign for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tell me to come close to Him, and I shouldn't ignore that. And you have to realize that, and that's how you come. That's how you find your redemption. And most importantly, what the Chiddushei tells us, Chiddush. Constantly renew yourself. Constantly find new ways to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's how you beat up the Yitzhahara. Constantly find yourself to renew your connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because that's how you find ways to keep your relationship fresh with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And most importantly, we should be zocha that every single thing that we do in our lives we should daven for, because tefillah is the key to everything. We should be zocha to connect to Eretz Yisrael. We should be zocha to connect to all the tzaddikim of all adoros. And most importantly of all, we should be zocha to connect to ourselves.
When's the